Welcome to Data Cues, the channel all about programming. In this series, we're going to learn about the fundamentals of Python programming, and it is especially catered for the beginner. So don't worry, have fun on this adventure of learning. So firstly, we want to install Python onto our machine. So what we have to do is we have to go to the website python.org. python.org. Okay, once we get there, go to the Downloads tab, and if you're on Windows, you will see you can go here to Download for Windows. And currently, it's running on Python version 3.11.4. And if you're on a Mac, you'll see you can go here, and on Linux or Ubuntu, it will already be installed over there. So I'm gonna go right over and hit on that. You can see it's busy downloading over there. And once it's complete, I'm going to go over and run that file. Now, just something important before you go ahead and click install now. I want to be able to add Python to path. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to install now. And the reason why we want to add Python to path is so that we can execute Python scripts and access Python packages from any directory in the command prompt. And we'll cover a little bit about the command prompt a little bit later. Okay, and we can close. We see that setup was successful. If you want, you could also disable your path length limit, but I won't do that for now. Right, so we're ready to get started. Right, so here you see I'm in the command prompt, and I've already ran the Python version that I had installed before, which was version 3.10.11. And what I did was I did a print statement over here. I said print, open bracket, I said hello, welcome to Python programming. Well, actually I didn't say hello. So normally in programming, when you start out on a language, the first thing they teach you is to write hello world. And you would do that by writing a print statement, and we put the quote mark there, and we just say whatever, hello world, and we put another quote mark to close that, and we see it printing to the screen. So this that you see over here is called a prompt, and that is telling us that the Python interpreter is waiting for us to type a command. Now the interesting thing about the Python language is that it is an interpreted language, which means it can run statements line by line. It doesn't have to be compiled like other languages such as Java. So a compiled language is where you have to type out a whole sequence of statements and then save that into a separate file, and that gets compiled into machine code. So Python is not like that. We can actually test out snippets of code on the go in this manner. But for now, I'm going to close this. So to do that, I will exit Python by doing an exit statement like that and typing enter, and I'm back to my command line. So what I want to do is I want to open up the integrated development environment that is given to us by Python when we install it from the destination that I just gave you, python.org. So let's see what that looks like. So I go to my start menu, I scroll down to find Python. Now, I have various versions of Python installed, but we just installed 3.11. So I will go there and I will click on this IDLE, idle. And once I open idle, I will see that I have Python version 3.11.4 installed. Now what I want to do is I want to maybe go to my options and I want to configure idle. We can see we can increase the font size, we can change the font. So let's first increase the size. Let's try something a bit bigger. 16. We can even change the highlights, the various colors that gets used. But I'm fine with that for now because I will be using something else that I will show you a little bit later. I'll be using Visual Studio Code as my editor. Okay, so all I want to do for now is change the font size to something a little bit bigger that we can all see a bit more clearly. Let's make it 20. See that? Okay, that seems a bit better. So as we saw on the command line, we have these greater than signs, these 3 signs, which is the prompt. And it is telling us that Python is looking for us to give a command to it. So as I've done before, let's see what happens when I put this print statement in there. Print, open the braces. Now, we see various things that we can do over here. Now, you might not understand that now, but that is all good and well. All you need to know is we want to print a sentence or a word or a letter. We put a quotation mark or the single quotation mark. We type that word, greetings, and then to end it we need to, if we started with a single quotation mark, we need to close it off with a single quotation mark. And then we close off with the closing braces there. You see, opening and closing there. Now when we press enter, it prints out the result. Now what we can also do is we don't actually have to use the print statement all the time. And I'll show you an example of this with a mathematical calculation. We can say print 1 plus 2. Now we expect the answer is 3. And that's correct. Now with the interpreter, we can also just simply say 1 plus 2. And it gives us 3. So this is just a little bit of an introduction to Python. So thank you for watching this video. And I hope you enjoyed it and followed along. And in the next one, we're going to learn a little bit more about the shell and then go on to learning about how we can actually create programs that are repeatable by creating files. See you in the next one.